You're going to stand here and do the presentation, or do you want to call a mic?
I like to move around.
Okay, after the imam, you can get the call. Okay. Right? Let's see it. Just do-
حقا لا إله إلا الله استووا استقيموا واعتدلوا الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين إن الله لا يستحيي أن يضرب مثلا ما بعوضة فما فوقها فأما الذين آمنوا فيعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم وأما الذين كفروا فيقولون ماذا أراد الله بهذا مثلا يضل به كثيرا ويهدي به كثيرا وما يضل به إلا الفاسقين. عهد الله من بعد ميثاقه ويقطعون ما أمر الله به أن يوصل ويفسدون في الأرض أولئك هم الخاسرون. كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أمواتا فأحياكم ثم يميتكم ثم يحييكم ثم إليه ترجعون. هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا ثم استوى إلى السماء فسواهن 7 سماوات وهو بكل شيء عليم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلمون. وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين. قالوا سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. قال يا آدم أنبئهم بأسمائهم فلما أنبأهم بأسمائهم قال ألم أقل لكم إني أعلم غيب السماوات والأرض وأعلم ما تبدون وما كنتم تكتمون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Please don't go anywhere. Inshallah, we have a presentation from our dear beloved brother on guidance residential and how to buy a home the halal way in America rather than going and getting riba. So be sure to attend, inshallah. Yeah, between now and Isha. Yeah, but I think you said after. It'll go till 11, 12 o'clock maybe, so. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, sisters. I'm going to open a part of the barrier so those that feel comfortable to sit in the back. So men, sit on the opposite side. Yeah, inshallah. Yes?
Electric wire is there.
So which side? That side? Okay. Yeah, we can open that side, inshallah. Can you push this? Wait, I think there's a sister there.
Somebody's there.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you can move this one, inshallah. Yeah. All the way in? Okay, inshallah. Yeah, the sister can see, inshallah. Yeah, but I mean, if they want to ask questions.
This is the same beginning.
Yeah.
It's kind of. Hopefully it's going. No, Jazakallah khair. I'll stand up. I think this is made like. How am I gonna put it? Like this.
That's a good question. Yeah. I see the dilemma.
So I think it's made. Let's put it in. No, it will be the same regardless. So I will go ahead and catch it. I will hold it. It's okay. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Bismillah. Would the screen work? The screen needs to be working. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Is the screen with monitors will work?
The monitor?
We can switch to the monitor when
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, please. Okay. All right. I don't know if it's. Can you hear me well? Alhamdulillah. Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Amma ba'd. First of all, I would like to thank Imam Abdul Razak and the board of the Islamic Center of Bellevue to accept to host me. I'm not new here in this community. I've been in this community for a while. But to give this presentation about Islamic finance. So my name is Ahmed Ragab. I am working with Guidance Residential for 8 years now. Guidance Residential actually started in 2002. And it's #1 Islamic finance company in the US. And believe it or not, and the Saudi Arabia as well. So Saudi Arabia, the name is not Guidance Residential, it's called Dar Tamlik. And it's with partnership with another big company called Al-Rashhi. Of course, it's well-known company, Rashhi. Yeah, and with the minister of, it's like the social department here is there with the there is a cooperation between the two. Guidance Residential, alhamdulillah, for 21 years, we financed over $8 billion in the US alone. We financed over 35,000 Muslim families and $1.3 billion. Just 1 year, last year alone. We are the biggest Islamic finance, about 80% of the Muslim market, we dominate it. We operate in 34 states in the US. Guidance has been in the Tennessee state since 2007, the license, but actively, we became active really starting from 2016 when I was hired, because they didn't have anybody in Tennessee. Alhamdulillah, since 2016 until now, me personally, I financed by myself over 320 families. Half of them are in Tennessee. The rest are in other 4 states, because I'm licensed, in curiosity to let you know, I'm licensed in 5 states: Tennessee, Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida. So what is Islamic finance? So Islamic finance, to explain what is Islamic finance, you have to understand what is riba, because there is a misconception about what is riba. So riba in English, if you want to translate the word in English, it is not interest. It is usury. This is the right translation, usury. The reason why it is not interest, because interest, believe it or not, and I know that you will hear some new information that you didn't hear about it before, and this is an educational thing, of course, but it will be shocking to you that interest by itself, it is not riba, just by itself. It will be riba if it's coming or involved in any type of loan. If there is a loan, regardless, and there is an extra above that loan, then this is riba. Regardless if it's in interest form, if it's in a flat fee form, or if it's even a favor. Like if I'm giving you a favor, let's say I'm always giving that example. I am an owner and I ask you for money. I tell you, brother, I want $1,000 from you. Give me a loan. And you will tell me, okay, we would not deal with riba. I will give you $1,000. You return it back to me $1,000. No problem. This is called qard hasan. No problem. And then you added, but until you give me the $1,000 back, I will come to you every day and you make a sandwich for me for free. That sandwich is riba. Why? Because al-qa'da al-fiqhiyya, the fiqh ruling is أي قرض أو كل قرض جر نفع للمقرض فهو ربا. Any benefit that's coming from a loan, any benefit to the lender that coming from a loan is riba. That benefit can be in any shape and form, not necessarily interest. Okay? Then why all people, including you, including myself 10 years ago, were thinking that interest is the problem? Like you will ask people, Muslims, 99% of them, they will tell you, oh, there is interest, then this is riba. What happened is, of course, you know, when you put your money in the bank, there is interest. And all scholars, 99.9%, or 100% of those who are good, they will tell you this is riba. Okay? Why? It is not because what you don't understand that when you put your money in the saving account in the bank, actually you are giving a loan to the bank. It's lending and borrowing. So when you put your money in the bank, you are giving a loan, and in this case, the bank is the borrower. And he is guaranteeing you that he will return back the money to you. Now he is guaranteeing you the money back with extra. That extra became riba because it's based on a loan. The problem that by time we forgot why the interest is haram, because it's that loan, because we don't call it loan, we call it saving account. So by time we forgot the reason behind it, and we keep catching on the word interest. Oh, interest, then this haram. No. No, no, no. Interest is not haram because it's interest. It is haram because it's coming from a loan, even if you call it saving account. Are you clear with me? No? So the interest itself, because you are putting your money in the saving account, so basically you are giving a loan to the bank. And the bank is saying, I'm going to guarantee this money that anytime you will ask for it, I'm going to give it to you back. And during this time, I'm going to take it and lending it to other people with interest, with higher interest. And he will get the profit in between. So he will give you 5%, he will lending to other people for 7%, he will get that 2% difference, and he gives you that 5%, okay? This transaction is borrowing and lending transaction. They do not call it that. They call it saving. And you, because you don't understand that it's actually lending transaction, that interest in this case will be riba. No, no, no. There are many ways to get interest in halal way. Oh, yeah, yeah. I will show you. Yeah. This is what the haram version of interest. Okay. Now, believe it or not, but riba is haram in all books, in Judaism, in Christianity, and everything. So the other slides will talk about some verses from the Quran. Of course, the verse from the Quran that is well known, and many verses. And I want to emphasize about something here. Sometimes you might see, from your point of view, that you don't see differences between Islamic finance and the bank. And this is exactly what the verse is talking about. So the verse is talking about that it is unlawful. Of course, the translation again is interest. It's supposed to be usury. It's unlawful to deal with usury, but يعني أحل الله البيع وحرم الربا. Allah made it permissible to do trade, but made it prohibited to do what? Riba. Lending with extra. Forget the interest. Lending with extra. So the Quraysh, when this verse was revealed, they said, إنما البيع مثل الربا. Like, we don't see any difference. Like, this is what Quraysh said, and this is what Allah mentioned, like repeating what they said. إنما البيع مثل الربا. We don't see any difference for what you say. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded, أحل الله البيع وحرم الربا. Allah made it permissible to do trade, but made it prohibited to do riba. And then he mentioned that those who cannot really know the difference, or they are confused about the difference, is like the shaitan touched them. They are confused. They are confused. They don't see the difference. Okay? And I will show you the difference. I will show you, we have to dissect, because really, truly, I was in some people's place. I would say, what is the difference between Islamic finance and riba? I don't see any difference, really. And then when you go deeper, you will see, oh, wow, that's a big difference in the consequences. Next slide, please. So these are verses from the Bible, of course, in Exodus. And this is the founding fathers. This is interesting, because now what we have in America now, the debt ceiling that we have a problem with, this is exactly what they are talking about. Because and enslave a country, one is by the sword, the other is by debt. This is, John Adams said that. Benjamin Franklin said, rather go to bed supperless than rise in debt. Okay? So, yeah, go ahead to the next one. So what is permissible? What is halal? Loan without any extra, which is qard hasan. You give me $1,000, I return it back $1,000. That's it. Trade. I give you a car, a Toyota Camry. You give me a Honda Accord. Okay? Buy and sell. I sell you something, you buy it from me. Let's talk about this part. The interest is the halal way. I'm selling, I own a car. My car. I own it. All right? It's $10,000 car. And Brother Akbar came to me and he said, I want to buy it, but I don't have the $10,000. I said, okay, I'm going to sell it to you with interest. Listen to this. I'm going to sell it to you with interest, 10% interest for 3 years. The final price will be $13,000. The question, is this halal transaction? Is this halal transaction? Huh? It's murabaha. It's halal 100%. Why? Because it's not loan. It is not a loan. This is number one condition. Number two condition, the end price is known, $13,000. It's final. It will not change. Got it? Number three, the debt or the money is for commodity. It's for something I'm selling. You are giving me money for something. Not for money. Not money for money. It's money for accommodation, for commodity. Now, What happened, and let me tell you, give you that two scenarios. The same exact scenario with some changes, and you will understand it. You go to a buy here, pay here car lot. You know what is buy here, pay here? Someone like in-house finance. Someone, he owns the car, and he will sell it and finance it to you directly. No banks involved, okay? And the same car, $10,000, all right? Now, he bought that car, the dealership bought that car for $5,000 from the auction, all right? He's selling it for $10,000 cash. Imam Abdul Razzaq came and said, okay, I want to buy it, but I don't have $10,000. Okay, 10% interest for 5 years. End price, $15,000. Clear? So the imams gave him $2,000 down payment. What is left is how much? $13,000. And in the contract says 10% per year interest. 2 months later, 3 months later, the imam find out that he cannot make the payment. God forbid. It happened to you. He cannot make the payment anymore. He go back to the dealer. Sir, I know that I will not be able to make the payment. Take the car back. Does the imam still in debt? Is the imam still in debt? Exactly. No. He is not in debt anymore. Why? Because that debt was connected to the commodity, the car. You return the car, you are not in debt anymore. Got it? Give me a second. Because I used to do this job. I used to do this for 3 years and a half. Once he returned the car back, he's not in debt anymore. You cannot force him to pay you anything. Now, you looked at the car, and you say, oh my God, the car is so messed up. The imam went to the hills and played in the mud, and the car is not worth anything. So I have to sell it in the auction. I sold it in the auction. It got me only $3,000 or $2,000. Now I lost how much? How much did I lose in this deal? $1,000. I got from him $2,000. It cost me $5,000. I got $2,000 from him down payment. I sold it in the auction for $2,000. I'm still in loss for $1,000. Do I have the right to go back on the imam and say, yes? Do I have that right? In any business, you go for either loss or gain. The same scenario, the same number, but I will make one change. Only one. Remember, who was the seller? The dealer. Who was doing the finance? The owner of the car, right? I'm going to change the story. Instead, the finance is through the dealer. The finance will be through a bank, third party. So the bank will give a loan on that car, the same price, the same interest, all right? Now, the same thing, he cannot make the payment after 2 months. Can the imam return the car? No. Why? Because the dealer sold the car. He got his money in cash from the bank. He is not involved in the car anymore. Now it's between the imam and the bank. Can the imam return the car to the bank? No, because the bank is not in the business of cars. So what is the only solution that the imam has? 2 solutions. One, to sell the car. Since when anybody can make money from selling a car? So if he sells the car, definitely he will sell it for less than what he owes to the bank, right? And by this way, if he sells the car for $6,000, can he go back to the bank and say, hey, I sold it for $6,000, would you forgive me for $4,000, the $4,000 remaining? Do you think the bank will do that? No. They will tell you, we don't care about it. We gave $10,000 debt. You are in debt. Then that means what? That means the debt was not related to the car in the beginning. It was related to you, not to the commodity. You became the slave. This is how people were going enslaved in the old times. He cannot make the payment back or the debt back. He becomes the slave of the debtor. So now you are in trouble with the lender. You see that? Do you see that difference now? Okay. I'm sorry? Yeah, this is exactly, here is the thing that people don't understand. Islam, anything about Islam, that what makes it halal and haram, it's about in the time of hardship. Not in the time of good. Why Islam made, I'm sorry, I'm going to give an example, after your permission, please. What Islam made marriage halal and zina haram? The same actions because of the hardship. When you become weak, the woman will not leave you. When she becomes sick, you will not say, okay, goodbye. No. But girlfriend, there's no commitment. Hardship, the halal part, the halal, what Allah made, this is halal and this is haram, not for the good time. No, when the hardship comes, then you will understand the difference, the benefits of halal. When the hardship happens, you will understand why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this as halal and this as haram. But in the good time, no, the haram will be so easy. Will be good. Will be cheaper. Will be better. Easier. Okay? Islam is a prevention religion, by the way, that prevents you from the mistake to happen, from happening, not after fixing the problem, no, to prevent it before it happens. So, let's go back. So, do you understand now the difference here? Okay. Next one, please. Okay, so there are 3 ways to do Islamic finance. Murabaha, Ijara, and Musharaka. Those are the most 3 common things. The Musharaka. Yeah. So, Murabaha, very quick. How long do we have the adhan? 9:30? Okay. Okay, alhamdulillah. So, Murabaha, what is Murabaha? Murabaha means that you want me to buy a car or a house. Let's talk about houses now. So, you want a house, and okay, I will go buy this house for you, $400,000. I will own it. This is number 1 condition to have Islamic finance, Murabaha. I must pay it, own it, hold on it, and then selling it to you for extra. This is buying and selling 50, 500,000, it doesn't matter, right? This is halal transaction, no problem, right? But there are several conditions. 1, you must own it. I'm talking about the one who will do the finance. Number 2, regardless if you pay later or sooner. And this is the problem of this version. Because usually when you do murabaha, let's say the house is $400,000, and you want to buy it, you make the payment for 30 years. How much do you, doing murabaha, he will sell it for you? Because he will get the money after 30 years. He wants to make sure that he will be able, after 30 years, to get the money that will make him be able to buy another house. The value of the money after 30 years will not be the same. So he wants to make sure that he will get the same value, right? So definitely he will say, okay, $400,000, let's say 80% of that in 30 years or 90% of that, that means I'm going to sell it to you for $750,000 for 30 years. Okay. Now, 2 years later, or what I'm going to do with the house? I'm going to sell it and return back the money. How much first, after 2 years, from $400,000, how much do you think you can sell the house for? Maximum, if you are lucky, in the crazy time, $500,000, right? $500,000. You will still be under. Because if you want to do it real murabaha, you have to pay him, regardless when, the price. Because if he reduces it, and it's in the contract, that he reduces it when you pay quicker, instead of, it's still riba, okay? So this is the problem of murabaha. This is why guidance said we will stay away from this. Because if a customer happened that he has some conditions that he has to sell, he will lose money, and if we have the condition to lower the price, then we'll fall into riba. So forget that model, okay? The other one is lease to own. Lease to own. The problem with lease to own, you lease for 30 years, you don't gain any equity in the house. Zero equity, okay? And you, in the last payment, it will be $1, and then you own the house. What happened if after 20 years and something happened, you got nothing? Nothing, zero. You just leased the house. Okay? So this is why, by the help of Judge Muhammad Taqiyya Osmani, I don't know if you know, you definitely know him. Judge Muhammad Taqiyya Osmani is the head of our Sharia board. And yeah. So he is the head of our Sharia board, and he basically designed this because there are two types of musharaka. Musharakat al-milk or musharakat al-aqd. Let me tell you the difference. So, to be exact in English, the difference between partnership and co-ownership. Those are two different words, two different meanings. Partnership and co-ownership. Partnership means me and the imam, we decided to open a business. So we are 50-50. We share in everything. He's not buying my share, and I'm not selling my share to him. We are together. Okay? We will share the profit, we will share the loss, we will share the expenses. This is called partnership. This is sharakat aqd. Sharakat milk, it's exactly like if Brother Akbar is buying from me my car. He gave me 25%, okay? And he's paying. Now, technically, now he has the car, he's driving it. He gives me it every month. Technically, how many owners in this car? 2. Right? This is called sharakat milk. Why? Let's say I sold the car for Brother Akbar for $10,000. I said, Brother Akbar, after 3 years, all what I want is $10,000. You make the payment to me. Brother Akbar finds a very nice gentleman. He wants to buy the car from him for $15,000. So Brother Akbar will make $5,000 profit. Do I have the right to share with Brother Akbar the $5,000? No. Because we already decided that I'm selling to you. It's called sharakat milk. I'm selling to you for $10,000. You turn around and you sold it for $15,000. That's your $5,000 is yours. Do you understand? This is called sharakat milk. And this is what guidance is using. So we buy together the house. You own, let's say, 5%. It depends on how much you can afford. 10%, 5%, 20%, and guidance will share the rest. We will establish an LLC, a limited liability company, which is very crucial. If any company tells you there's no LLC, then it is not really ownership. It's bogus. Your share on monthly payment. So when you own the house, you own 5%. But do you live in your only 5% or you live in the whole house? The whole house. So in this case, guidance has the right to charge you usage fee because you are using our share in the house, right? Okay. It will be the same math as any bank does with amortization table that, for example, the payment is $1,000. This $1,000 divided to two parts. Part go to the rent or usage fee, and the other part go to the share that you are buying our share. Hence, share goes down. Therefore, the usage fee or the profit that we get from you goes down with it. To be able to do that, any mathematician will tell you to be able to calculate it, you have to have a common factor. What is the common factor? The profit rate. It has to be fixed number. You have 5% times the share, times the share. Otherwise, it's impossible to calculate it, right? So this is the part when we say, in this case, the interest is halal. Because it's based on what? Buying and selling. You are selling to you our share, okay? And we make profit from the, some people call it lease. It is not lease, it's usage fee, okay? Now, is that from the surface, somebody will say, I don't see any difference between you and the bank. At the end, the bank will charge me 7%, and you are charging me 7%. It's just, you are holding your ear, instead of like this, you are holding your ear like this, right? Right? I know. But it's not true. To be Sharia compliance, to do sharakat milk, the Sharia put conditions. Do you remember the example that I gave you about the difference between zina and zawaj and marriage, which is the hardship part? This is where Islamic finance comes, the hardship part. To have a real Islamic finance, we have to share the risk with you. Do you remember the example that I gave you about the dealer? You return the car, you are not in debt anymore. The same thing. So let's say you bought the house, it's a $500,000 house, you bought it, mashallah, you put 200, the balance at the incident was 400,000. You work for any reason. Sickness, the economy went bad, got out of work. You cannot make the payment anymore. I'm going to give you two examples. One or two scenarios. You are with the bank, regular bank, give you a loan. The bank will tell you, okay, we'll take the house from you, we'll do foreclosure, put it in the auction. It was sold for $300,000. What will happen to the rest of the $100,000? Are they going to forgive you? No. They will come after your assets. Let's say your assets has $25,000 in your bank. They will take it. Even if it's not the same bank, by the way. Even if it is not their bank, they will take it. Well, you still owe them $75,000. By law, something called recourse contract or recourse commitment, it depends on the state. 15 years. They have 15 years to collect the $75,000 plus interest. How? A W-2 job you have, they will take a portion of it. So either the 15 years finishes before they finish the $75,000, or they will get the $75,000 before the 15 years finishes. Got that? Okay. If the same scenario happens with guidance, and $400,000, this is what you owe guidance, and the economy is so bad that when we put the house in the auction, it was sold for $1. $1. Guidance got $1 only. We're debt free. It's our loss. You are debt free. We will not come after you. Do you see the difference here? The hardship part. When the time of hardship happens, the real benefit of Islamic finance will pop up. Okay? Another scenario. Let's say And it happens every 10 years, subhanAllah, it's like on the calendar. Every 10 years, Nashville is underwater. There's a flood, right? 25% of the houses that are flooded are not in a flood zone. Therefore, if there is no flood zone, therefore there is no flood insurance involved. The insurance will not cover the flood. If your house is flooded with the bank will tell you, I don't care about what happened to the house. Did I give you a house? Did the bank give you a house? No, they give you money. The bank will tell you, I want my money. Keep paying. Keep paying. You will pay for something that does not exist. And if they are super, super, super nice, they will tell you, okay, we will make a deal with you. We will make a second loan to rebuild the house, and you have 2 loans. That's if they are super nice. But that's not, I don't call this nice. I call this terrible because they are doubling down your debt. What happened with guidance? Guidance is co-owner with you, has sharakat al-milk with you. If the house is gone because of a flood that is not covered by the insurance, the debt is gone. We will not ask you for the money. We lost the money. So what will happen? Okay, there is a piece of land on this, the house was on a piece of land, right? We'll tell you, okay, let's sell the land. The land, let's say, got $80,000. At the time of the incident, your share was 3%. Rather, you will take 23% and we'll take the rest. You still get money. You will still get money. Okay? The same thing happens in case of, Tennessee is one of the biggest states that has sinkholes. And I had one case, one of my customers here. The house, the sinkhole, part of the house became like this in the foundation. Like you cannot live in it anymore. It's gone, like it's not livable. So what happened? Guidance said, okay, demolish it. Brother, you are debt-free. Just sell the land, the piece of land, and we will split it based on your share in the house. And guidance got the hit for that. Okay? The bank will not do that. So this is when you see the difference really happen. The other, yes, sir. We share risk, yes. So we share risk in multiple cases. Natural disaster that is not covered by the insurance. Foreclosure because you lost your job or your income. The third one, something called eminent domain. Let's say you are in a house and the county or the city decided to take over your house because they want to enlarge the road or to build a bridge or anything like that. Usually they compensate you. The amount they compensate you is less than the market value of the house by a lot. And sometimes it goes below the mortgage that you got on the house. And by this way, if you got that money, we will split it based on your share in the house. You still get, it's not like the bank. The bank will take the whole amount and will come after you for the difference. No, we will not do that. Whatever they will give us, we will split it based on your share and our share in the house at the time of the incident, not the time when you purchase the house. Okay? Now, there is another one, another fourth, we share the risk with you. In the type, if the economy is so bad, your house was, the mortgage is $500,000, and the market went down, crashed completely, became like the value became $400,000. The market value of your house became less than the mortgage that you have. So far, you didn't lose money, by the way. You don't lose money unless you sell the house. Remember that. You never lose as long as you did not sell. But let's say you have hardship that you must sell the house because one of your parents is very sick and they need you beside them overseas and stuff like that. And you are not behind in your payment. and if you have documentation, we will accept to lose money in your sale. Bank will not do that. You will sell the house for 400,000 even though that you owe 500,000, but you have to give us some good documentations, you know, because we will not allow anybody to make us lose money like that. He has to show us proof that the market value, that you are not behind in your payments, your medical record of your parents, and then, okay, well, we did it, hardship. And we had to, in 2010, it happened before, several times. No. By the way, there is no such thing. There is this, what you're talking about, does not exist. No, what you are talking about, it does not exist. Even the MI does not do that. So what he's talking about, something called mortgage insurance. The mortgage insurance, people think that it covers the whole loan. No, it covers the remaining of the 20% only. The remaining of the 20%, not the loan.
If the market value is high,
No, we don't share the profit. Remember, because I didn't say that the part of the details. So when we buy the house together, let's say the house 40,000, we put 360. We will sell it to you again for 360, the same amount we paid. We will not make profit from selling it to you back. Our only profit is coming from the rent. That's it.
I mean, my point is, if you want to decide, you know, to move from, actually, if you want to sell the house, for example, the market value get high.
Yeah, you can.
It's 600,000, so you don't take the one you borrowed,
No, I take the 300,000, whatever the remaining of the balance,
that's it.
that's it. The rest is yours. All the profit is yours. Yes. Oh, yeah, sure.
So, it was the same thing, so you share the risks, but not the profit.
Correct. Yes.
Traditional lending is like you can have a clause that you like you sell a house for a profit. So basically when you sell early, so basically pay whatever
Early payment penalty.
the final price like good guidance, right? So say you bought the house for 400, now it sells for 700. But since you're paying it early, you're not going to pay 700. You're going to pay the
Still the same question is asking.
Yeah. So are you?
no, let's say you want to pay early.
Uh-huh.
So in traditional banking, you pay whatever, you don't have to pay interest on future.
Yeah, the same thing.
So you don't have to, basically in that case, the sale price drops from the
The same amount that guys paid. Remember that. The final price was the price that guidance paid in the beginning. That was the final price.
without the guidance.
No, because we don't do murabaha. What you're talking about is murabaha.
So another scenario, does guidance have control over what customer buys? Because they have their trust too, that customer is buying something that is going to crash. Why would guidance give money to that customer?
Yeah.
And impart them and move it on?
Yeah, so go to see the house and value the house if it's really the right value of the market. Okay? The appraiser as well, when he goes to see the house, he sees the house, the condition of the house. If this is a good condition or bad condition. So he writes this in the report. If we see anything in the report that says this is not livable, we'll tell you, brother, find another house. Or if the market value is way less than the sales price, we'll tell you, brother, either you have two options. Option number one, either you renegotiate the price or you're going to pay the difference from your pocket. Because we are not going to buy something that is less than the market value. Yes? Sure.
When I bought, I used LIBOR.
Yes.
And later on, I was surprised to see that the Fannie Mae is sending the, the letter
Yes.
So I suspect that they borrow the money from settlement. So my question for you, does guidance use their own money and what is the money source, or are they borrowing from a different debt?
Very good. Very good. So okay, this is question number one. Question number two. Go ahead.
Number two, is there anything that you did not tell us that you do not like about this guidance? That we know there are success stories.
So, not about guidance. It is about halal. Okay? Any halal thing is hard. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He put the halal, He made it difficult because if the halal is easy, everybody. If halal is easy and haram is difficult, then where is the test? And if you decide based on what is easy, and we all will fall into sin in this case. So yes, so when it comes to guidance, because we will lose money with you, we have to, to dissect your finance. Show me, where did you get this money from? And some of you here, I'm not going to mention it, some of you here are my customer, and they went through this. Where did you get this money from? Show me your pay stub. Well, this pay stub doesn't match the deposit that you put it in your bank. Show me this again. Show me that again. Show me this. Show me that. Other banks, go. Take the money. Because they will get you. They will get you. They don't lose in this transaction. You understand? But we will lose, so we have to be careful. Brother, give me this, give me this, give me this. No, brother, you deposit this money. I cannot source this money. Where did you get this money? Did you get a loan, brother? Did you have another loan that I'm not aware of? Oh my God, brother, I noticed that in your bank statement there are 2 months you are paying the same amount to certain. What is that? Is that something that is not mentioned in the credit report? That you have a debt that we are not aware of that will affect your payment? We have to pay attention. So the stories that you hear, it's part of the test that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put on you, because for us to do the right thing, we will lose money. So the whole design is designed to make it hard on us, so definitely it will be hard on you. It is a test.
Do you mind sharing what stories you were alluding to?
I'm sorry?
I didn't hear a very bad story. Do you mind sharing what stories you were alluding to?
The stories that I have, really, it's not, well, I don't want to disappoint you about what things that I went through, things that really made me see the community in a different way. So, like, I had one of the customers, that was 4 years before the closing by 3 days. We are closing. So I asked her sister, would you like to add your husband to the title? She said yes. I said, okay, send me his driver license. She sent me his driver license. And I looked at the name. I said, that doesn't sound the same name that is in the income tax. So I looked. These are 2 different names. The income tax is a name and driver license is a different name. So I called her. I said, sister, these are 2 different names. Which one is your husband? Like this one or this one? Did you get divorced? Tell me the story. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you this. When somebody starts to tell you, brother, I'm going to tell you this. Once I hear this, I know that there's a disaster I'm going to hear after this. Let me tell you the truth. Wallahi, every time, okay, brother, let me tell you this. Once I hear this, khalas, musibah. There is a musibah coming after this state. The one in the income tax is not really my husband. Okay. Who's he? Well, legally, officially, I am married to my brother to bring him to the United States. Wallahi, I was in the middle of my room. The phone dropped from my hand. Like, I said, sister, this is forgery. She said, okay, just let it go. I said, I cannot let it go. It's done. I had to cancel the deal. Listen to this. Her father, called me, insulting me, calling me names for canceling the deal. The mother. And I keep telling them, how dare you insulting me for this while you accepted to do such thing? They said it's just a piece of paper to bring him to the United States. So I asked her, why didn't you divorce him since you are married to a real husband? Why you didn't divorce him? She said, well, my brother doesn't want to get divorced until he gets his citizenship. So what you gonna do with this? So through a lot, and people call me names, and I don't know how they have the audacity to call me names for this.
You haven't heard anything, so you're safe.
Huh?
You haven't heard anything, so you're safe.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yes, the first question. Okay. So I will answer 2 questions that you did not ask. Okay? I will answer them, and I will answer this question. Okay. And the Imam is here, so he can say if I'm wrong or right. So, number 1, to satisfy you, 100%. In fiqh and sharia, if I'm selling you something or buying something from you, in general, it doesn't matter where the money is coming from. In fiqh. It doesn't matter if it's coming from, if I'm buying a car from you. It doesn't matter if I'm, doing something haram and buying something from you. You are selling, the transaction between me and you is halal because it's based on buying and selling. Because if every person, ask every person, where is the source of your money, nobody will buy or sell anything. Okay? So this is number 1. So regardless, okay?
Transaction and inheritance both here.
Yes, yes. Jazakallah khair. And yes. So it doesn't matter where the money coming from. It should not bother you because my transaction with you is halal. For example, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam dealt with Murabi, Jewish man, Murabi. But his transaction with him was not riba. It was based on halal transaction. He knows that this guy, he get his money from riba. But his transaction with him was halal. Okay? So this is 1. 2, regarding Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, what are these entities? Those are not banks. No. They are federal agencies. So the Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, those who are the one who put laws and the guidelines on mortgage business in America. So for example, when we say, I need your last 30 days bank transaction, this is their guideline, not our guideline. When they say we need the last 2 years income tax, this is their guidelines. Those are the one who put this kind of laws. So Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, those are federal agencies, not banks, that at the end, they take the money from all banks. This is why America is so rich. All the mortgages that you see, at the end, goes to the money, all this profit goes to Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. All this money. This is why America is very, very super rich. Okay? So they put the laws, they put the guidelines, and you have to follow them. Some banks, they don't deal with Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae because they have to make it easy, like simple They don't go by these guidelines. They make it so simple. This is why some banks will say, okay, just give me your bank statement and I'll give you a loan. But Freddie Mac, they put some regulations and laws to prevent what happened in 2008 before. So when they say, but the problem that the language that is used by Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, so Lariba, for example, or UIF or Devon Bank, those are banks. This is the problem. So when banks deal with Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, they sell loans. So the loan sell another loan. Guidance is not a bank. We are not a bank. We are not dealing with any bank, loans to any bank. Our rights as ownership, our rights but not our ownership, which is to collect the profit. So instead you pay us the profit, we give it to Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. This is basically it. So basically the $300,000 that we paid in the house, we say, Freddie, we have Brother Akbar here. He's giving us 7%, for example, profit. Would you accept this file? They say, okay, how much do you want? We want $350,000. So they will give us $350,000. This is to, you know, instead of, because if you stay with them 30 years, they will make $500,000. So we get short profit, we take it and we finance it in another house. So the cycle of the capital will be quick, because if we don't do this, we'll be out of money within 6 months. Right? So we use in the beginning, in the transaction, we use our money. So where did this money come from? Guidance is a small company, not a small company really. It's one of the company out of another group of companies. The head is owned by 3 brothers, 3 Muslim brothers from Syria. Those are the owners of Guidance. They migrated from Syria in 1940s, way back. And they start, when they came in during the 50s, they started in the real estate development. That was booming at that time. And in 1999, they decided to, you know, to become, starting a mortgage company. But before that, they established a mutual company. You know, mutual fund? No, everybody knows mutual fund. So we have a company called Capital Guidance, okay? And this company basically is like a mutual fund, but for real estate, but not for residential, for commercial. The mutual fund companies in the Gulf, especially in the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia and Rajhi and all those, they send money to Guidance Capital, and Guidance Capital put this money buy towers, malls, commercial, and the revenue goes back to this mutual fund, okay? Anybody knows what capital? So there are big things. So, and then they decided to say, okay, these mutual companies in the Gulf, they don't want to go into, they want to go into residential. But the problem with the residential is not like commercial. The commercial, you buy the mall or you buy the commercial office building and then you lease it. But the residential is based on the customer taste, right? We cannot buy the house and look for someone to, look for a Muslim to buy it. So they decided, okay, how do we do with this? How the way to do finance the mutual Islamic mutual companies, they want to invest in residential. So they found that the only solution is to do it through a mortgage company, do it in a halal way. You choose the house that you want and we'll finance it. Got it? Because if we buy the house and keep looking for someone Muslim to buy it in a halal way, it will be very difficult. Got it? Yeah. So this is our Sharia board. And the story of how to hire them is very fantastic. it is really, it's something amazing. In 1999, there is something called IOFI. I don't know if you heard of IOFI. IOFI is like an organization, a global organization. Anybody wants to start an Islamic finance company or a bank, Islamic bank, they have to get the approval from IOFI. IOFI is located in Bahrain. So guidance, instead of doing the contract and then go to IOFI to get the approval, no. They went to IOFI, they said, okay, we will hire the Sharia board, you come to America, you create our contract. You do our contract. And they did. So this is how we hired Judge Muhammad Taqi Osmani. And we are approved by AMJA. AMJA is the Assembly of Muslim Jurists of America. We are they put categories, and we are number 2 after Al-Amin Housing. Al-Amin Housing is unfortunately a company that works only 2 states, California and Texas. Now they open in Texas. But we are number 2 after them, and there is a reason. But it's not about riba. It has nothing to do with riba. And in 2022, we became 34 states, over $8 billion. We dominate about 80% of the market of the Islamic finance. And they talked about us in Al Jazeera. And of course, they didn't put Fox News because it was a negative things. And what's next? Well, what's next is you connect with me. If you are interested to buy a house, you connect with me. And we will go through the process. And we get pre-qualification, and then you start to buy your house. Next slide, please. And this is my information. You can call me, you can email me. I'll be more than happy to help you, inshallah. Do you have any questions before we start?
Yeah, last question.
Yes.
Okay, earlier was saying, for example, 10%, so that be okay.
As long as the final price is known, will not change.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So now for the residential, so how are you going, for example, if I post 3,000 or say 100,000 house, okay, for if we are doing 15 years or 30 years, so I can't pay fixed money. I know how much it's going to pay 15 years.
So here is the thing. So our profit will be fixed. Like we will tell you, this is how much we will take from you on annual basis, like 6%, 7%. This is the money is fixed, will not change, okay? But remember, we are selling it to you with the same amount that we paid. Anytime you give us the remaining balance of this, you own the house 100%. Anytime. There is no